Hello everybody and welcome back to Evolving Vibes, the community for witches, pagans, spiritualists, and everybody in between. I'm so glad to have you back and I'm looking forward to doing this video. Today's video is going to be on grounding, different techniques that I like to utilize in order to ground myself, to more stabilize my life, and to help move me forward without feeling overwhelmed, tired, stuck, any of that. Now, don't get me wrong, our day-to-day activities and our day-to-day lives are going to get us to feel tired and get us to feel a little fatigued and worn down. And that's normal. That's what rest is all about. Grounding is literally when you are reconnecting with the universe and the earth, just to gain that energy back and to let off some of the energy that you may have picked up along the way throughout our busy day or through any one circumstance. So the first thing to understand is there's really no right or wrong way to ground. There's only really your way to ground. And so that being said, some of the things in this video are going to be my way of grounding. Take what resonates with you, leave the rest behind, right? Make sure that you all stick around to the very end of this video because I am going to be having some exciting news about some of the things that I'll be doing this week. This is, of course, Halloween week or Samhain week, right? So first and foremost, I am on vacation this week and I'm super stoked about that because that's going to allow me to do some other things that are both going to be beneficial for myself spiritually as well as for the community, because I am going to be doing some things that I'm going to try to incorporate into a YouTube video. So let me just start off with showing you my nails. So I had my nails done this past week, yesterday actually, day before yesterday, because I've got a bunch of psychic fairs coming up this week and I wanted to have literally the universe at my fingertips. And that being said, that always starts off my Halloween week. Let me know in the comments what might start your Halloween week off. So before we get lost in this conversation, let's just get back to this video on how I ground, some of the techniques that I utilize, some of the methods that I use. And as I said earlier, feel free to take what you want. Feel free to leave the rest behind, right? But let me know in the comments what you guys might do to ground as well. And I will see you in just a couple of minutes. So as I said just a little bit earlier, grounding or earthing is just a method of giving off any energy that's no longer serving your vibe and taking on energy from the earth and from the universe that is actually going to replenish yourself in your spirit, as well as heal maybe some of the situations or feelings that you may be going through at any given moment. And as I also said, there really is no right or wrong way to ground. There's only the individual's way of grounding. So if some of the things that I do aren't necessarily something that you do, no problem. What you do works for you. What I do works for me. If you want to try some of my things out, feel free. If you want to let me know if I don't have some of the things that you do to ground in the comments, feel free. And I may put those into practice myself just to see how they work for me. So one of the first ways that I like to ground, it's really simple because they're always with me, are my pets, my familiars. Between Coco the cockatoo, as well as my 4 kitty cats, I do a lot of grounding with them. They seem to instinctually know when I just need to get off some steam, get off some energy, and really center myself. And they help me along with that by cuddling with me, by sharing their space with me, and by sharing their time with me. And it really does make a huge difference. Now, another way that I really like to ground is being outside in nature. I love being outside. I love walking around in nature. So there's a lot of different places outside that you could actually go to. There are public parks, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's private trails. There's the woods. There's walking around paths and just stopping along the way and picking things up. going outside in the woods and going outside in nature is one of the more important ways of grounding, for me anyway. In the correct season, I always walk around barefoot because I really want to feel that earth energy. I want to absorb it, and I want to dissipate any residual energy that I may have in me that I want to get rid of. So grounding, walking around outside barefoot, is of huge benefit to anybody. Another way that I personally like to ground is by walking along the water. I'll go to any given beach at any given day, or riverbank, wherever it might be, and just simply walk around, look at the water, feel the energy coming off of that moving water, listen to the wind, listen to the birds, observe nature. Just getting out there and doing that offers so much grounding for me, and I literally would be lost without it. Not to belabor the point, but I did move quite a while ago now, really far up north on the New Hampshire line, and there was really no waterways next to me when you compare where I live now, which is South Coast, and where I grew up. So that was one of the biggest things that I missed. Although I had the mountains and I had trees and I had woods, and I loved all that, don't get me wrong, I really also enjoyed that option of being able to walk around any waterway, because it's very much different experience and a very much different grounding experience. Let's see. Another method that I like to do for grounding is going near my favorite tree, just sitting under it, standing near it, putting my hands on it, and literally just feeling the tree's energy, absorbing that stability and that energy into my body, and releasing any energy that's no longer serving my purpose or serving my vibe. That being said, that is so powerful. Along with that, if you spend just a little bit of time being silent, holding on to that tree, you'll actually feel this connection as well as communication. And you'll be amazed at what pops into your head in fleeting thoughts or in images, which to me is definitely coming from the energy of the tree. That stability, that safety, that long-term basic growth in life. Another method that I enjoy doing is reading. Believe it or not, you can do an activity and still be grounding. That's what we're doing when we're walking through the woods or along the beach, or walking towards the tree that we really like to be around and hanging out with it. So reading's the same method. Finding yourself a good book and really getting involved in that story and in that book is really, really awesome. Books to me are magical. They're really a living, breathing life, world, if you will. And the whole reality of it is, it's inert. It's completely, fundamentally inert when we don't pick it up. But in order for this to live, we have to pick it up. We have to interact with it in order for it to tell us its story. And to me, that is a very magical experience. Not to mention the information that you get out of it, or if you're actually reading a fictional story, just the joy that you get from going into that other dimension for a little while and just interacting with those characters in that story. To me, very magical, and I love doing it. As you probably already guessed, another really strong method for me to ground is actually journaling. We've talked about this, and not too long from now, I'll be doing a video on some of the work that I've actually put into this book. But journaling is a great way to ground. One, you can be doing shadow work while you're journaling. Two, you can be writing down and getting rid of a lot of that energy that's no longer serving your vibe. If you had an untoward circumstance today, or an untoward interaction with another person today, writing it down, writing how you felt, writing what exactly transpired, and writing what you're feeling right now, this very second, goes a long way in transferring that energy from you and from up here and putting it inside of here, where you have the luxury of sealing it up when you're done with that session and moving on with your life. So certainly journaling is another huge way of grounding for me. Another important way for me to ground is incense and candles. I'll light some incense, put it around my room, put it around my house, and I'll just lie on a bed and take in the wonderful scent of whatever incense I'm using that day. 90% of the time, it's frankincense. I just love frankincense. So I use frankincense quite a lot. But use that incense to help get you into another magical, more powerful state where you're allowed to, and allowing yourself to, most importantly, get rid of that energy that's no longer serving your vibe. Get rid of those thoughts and those experiences that you had throughout the day that don't serve your vibe whatsoever. And draw in the positive, healing, strong energy from the universe to make you feel better and make you feel stronger. And this is a very strong cornerstone to starting to do meditation. If you don't meditate, you've heard me say it a million times, I strongly, strongly recommend giving it a shot. I do have a couple of guided meditation videos inside of my playlist. Check them out. And I'm going to be planning on doing more as we go further. But meditation is huge important, and you definitely want to get involved in that, because I promise you it will help you much longer and much more than you can even imagine. Another method that I enjoy for grounding and actually doing some work to fix whatever situation I'm going in is lighting a candle and scrying into it. Scrying into the candlelight, or scrying into my crystal ball, or any crystal that jives with you, while that candle is lit in that darkened room where it's quiet, with the incense burning. You've got that candlelight, you've got the incense, you've got a quiet dark room, you've got a crystal ball or any crystal, or at the very minimal, you have a candle flame. Staring into it, relaxing, focusing on your breathing will go a long way with grounding yourself out, but along with that, helping you with divination, opening up your third eye, getting into here and figuring out what might be going on. So certainly scrying and candlelight can be very powerful tools to not only help you ground, not only help you get rid of energy that you no longer want, but to offer to you potentially some solutions to any situation that might be going on to get you further away from it even more quickly by just dealing with it and leaving it behind. Certainly, bathing, taking a nice enchanted bath with candlelight, maybe some herbs or an herb bag if you don't want to get herbs all over the bath water. Taking a shower in the candlelight with some incense burning, with very specific herbs in the shower, in the bag, washing upon you, or utilizing a very specific soap that you actually made or that you actually enchanted, can go a long way with both cleansing and getting rid of that energy, grounding you out with that water energy, and just refreshing and refilling your spiritual self. Of course, there's always utilizing tarot. You can utilize your tarot cards to help you with grounding, with releasing energy, and to releasing situations that you might be going through, again, as a form of divination, with actually trying to figure out what your part in this situation might be and your solution to get out of it. Another aspect is finding the World card, finding that Magician card, and just meditating with that card or whatever other card corresponds with what you might be going through. Meditate with that card. Spend some time with that card and really work through what might actually be going on, as well as what you actually need to get yourself further along to replace that feeling you might be having. I didn't make this video all too long, although I'm not sure after all the edits and such how long it's going to be. But I wanted you all to get a sense of what I do to ground, what I do from a spiritual standpoint to rid myself of energy that is no longer serving my vibe, and how to bring more energy in that I do want, that I do need at that point in time, to help me going forward, to help me moving forward, and to help me reach the goals that I actually want to reach. There's a lot of different ways of doing it. If I didn't mention it in this video, it may not be because I don't do it or I don't believe in it. It certainly could be because I didn't want this video to be an hour and a half long, because you can really spend a lot of time with grounding and the topic. But if anything in here really rings out to you, take it and use it, and let me know in the comments what you think. Along with that, don't forget, let me know in the comments what you might do to ground and what you find works for you. And who knows, if it's not something I've mentioned in the video, I'll certainly talk about it and I'll definitely give it a try. Now, for the news I was talking about earlier. So as I said, this is Halloween week, and so I'm going to try to do some experiences that both I love doing every year, but this time I want to bring you with me. So the first one is tomorrow. I'm going to go up to Salem, Mass, and my goal is to get some really cool video and some footage and some experiences recorded that I go through so that I can share them with all of you, my community, because I know some of you all aren't really from New England, some hardly get to New England. Heck, some of you guys from totally different countries. So I wanted to give you my perspective and my experience going to Salem. So that's the first surprise. That video is going to be coming up. Now here's the big surprise. On Tuesday evening from 8 p.m. to 7:30 in the morning, I am going to be going on a ghost hunt to, get this, the Conjuring House in Harrisville, Rhode Island. The house that the movie is based upon and the hauntings and experiences from that house that the movie is based upon. They're actually opening up just for this year for ghost hunting tours. So I'll be able to join part of the ghost hunting team and be there, as I said, from 8 o'clock at night to 7:30 in the morning. Almost 12 hours, just spending time in each room, going off by myself to have my own personal experience, and hopefully recording some of my experiences on equipment so that I might be able to share with, again, the community. As always, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure, if you have not already, like, subscribe, leave me that comment. Help grow this community. Let us get out there and move forward. If you have any friends that haven't already, reach out to them, let them know about the channel, and let them see if it's something that they like doing as well, and let them hopefully subscribe, like, and leave comments, right? So until next time, as always, please, please, please be sure to be safe, be well, and as always, be blessed.